Is it afternoon? Afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Cuppy Johndro, and I am the secretary for the Loring Air Museum up in Loring, Maine. With me today are our president with the dog, Mrs. Amy Beal, and with the red shirt over here is Matt Beal, our vice president. I said Matt Beal, didn't I? Matt Cole. Sorry.
Matt Cole.
I'd like to welcome members of the Loring family, particularly one who is the closest that we can get to a living relative of Charles Loring, and that is Paul Loring himself. Paul, if you'll stand up. This is a man who directly... I'd like to also recognize the AMVETS for allowing us to use your building when the event of rain started. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Especially last minute. I'd like to also recognize any member of the Loring family to please rise at this time. I want to thank you for your sacrifice of Charles himself. His daughter Charlene could not be here today, so I do want to recognize. Oh, hi, Charlene. Do want to recognize Charlene as well. That is his daughter, so that would be the second direct connection to Loring today. So this box that we have started out on quite a journey. It started out actually in June of last year with an email that occurred and came to the Loring Air Museum's website, and through that site came directly to me. There was two gentlemen who were in that particular email, and one was Helmut, Bruls, and Bernard Collard. And at first I thought it was a scam, because, you know, today's society, let's be real, you're going to assume it. And they said that they had found something, and they wanted the people of Loring to know, and they wanted direct emails and phone numbers to two people who were elderly, and I'm like, that's never going to happen in my day and age. So what's going to happen is I'll be your go-between. I'm happy to do that to make sure that Paul and Charlene were not scammed, nor were we at our museum. So it started out with they found the remnants of a plane that crashed on December 24th, 1944. That plane was when Charles got shot down over Belgium, landed in a field. These gentlemen, one of them, their dad, who was 11 at the time, was his family farm. He remembers that when they left because of the war, they later came back after liberation, and when they came back, they wanted to clear the land. The airplane was gone in the middle of the night because airplane scavengers would hunt for the metal. So the direct body and the main parts of the aircraft were disappeared overnight. However, there was all these remnants on the ground. The farmer told them to go get the parts and throw them over the field so that they could clear the land, which they did. Then later on, after this story came, these two gentlemen went to that field and less than 10 inches with Geiger counters, metal detectors, found those parts and excavated the site. So that started this long journey of the box. Then what ended up happening was we had a customs issue. On the box itself, when it got ready to be shipped here, it couldn't be shipped because when I shipped them a gift, it all of a sudden became a monetary thing. And that was a big mistake that I made, not knowing that. And I had to pay $90 just to have the gift that I sent them released from customs. So they finally did that, and then coming here, the same mix-up happened. They thought we had something big in this box, a monetary donation that was worth money. So on the outside of this box is a big message that basically says nothing, it's not worth anything, and it's a gift. So when that box finally got released to us, I got that box in my mailbox or in my house in July. And thus started a big messages, which of course Paul Loring and I have had messages back and forth. I met him was it last summer, John?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And I've got to fly over Loring in a small Cessna piloted by Alan Miller, which was great. And anyway, we got to meet him and show him Loring and our museum, and they presented us with some gifts. So that's what the story is, the backstory on this box. But Charles, of course, or Paul, of course, couldn't meet. We couldn't meet. There was a big issue, so we ended up doing it today. which just happens to be the 92nd birthday of Paul Loring. If we could sing happy birthday real quick, because I didn't know this until about a half an hour ago.
He doesn't tell.
I know he doesn't.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paul. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Never looked.
Just look at the over 90. So in the process of finding all this, I was actually lucky enough to find somehow a photo of Major Loring's dog tag, which I'd like to present to the family. As well, we were able to find a piece of paper that came from the camp where he was held prisoner of war for those 5 months, 6 months. So, what was I saying? So we didn't know what these parts were real. So the other thing was, there was a very small plate that was found, and that plate coincided with something on the aircraft of Charles Loring that was on the cockpit itself on the display. It was that particular plate that led them to find out that not only did they have an aircraft that was an American aircraft, they had an aircraft of a man that was a Medal of Honor winner. And that made it even more significant. And that's what the big hunt to get this done was. So we'd like to open the box at this time. I'd like to ask Paul to step forward. You're going to actually open the box. It's extremely significant to us. It's significant to us that you open it, being the man that was the man's brother. It's not ours. It's a gift to us as a museum, but it's your honor to open. So I do want to read the note to Customs. It said, the package contains metal debris from a warplane discovered in Belgium on the way to the Loring Air Museum in Maine. There's no commercial value, zero, only historic. In case of problems, please check with the museum with my number on it. And the sender, Helmut, Bruls, and then some weird, all kinds of other stuff that's in whatever language it's in. So it's the only knife we could find. Like I said, we don't know what's in there. We did have a picture of the original parts laying on a table. What's in it? We'll find out in a minute.
Go for it, Paul.
Tony, I mean, you might be here.
The parts were found approximately a year ago in June, May, June, and they excavated even more after that. And they're actually putting some on display in Belgium.
What?
There's a lot of tape on there.
Yeah, a lot of tape on that.
Duct tape with
Right. Yeah, my address is open. Yeah, we can't hurt them. They're all restless.
Don't scratch it. I know. I don't know who's more excited to see what's in there.
Me or you?
You.
I'm shaking a whole lot. I've been waiting a long time.
I said, cut a hole in there and peek. She said, no. She wouldn't do it.
We send you hereby a few pieces of Major Charles J. Loring's P-47D, which was shot down over Rossenham, Kimball, I don't know, on 12/24/44. Discovered by myself with my friend Bernard Collard in June 2022, hidden in the, what is it?
Is that web?
Web, I guess, and our underground of Roth, whatever that name is, for almost 40, I'm sorry, is that 40 years? They are now back to where they belong within the Loring family and the Loring Air Museum. May they give some comfort to the family and contribute to the legacy of this great pilot and man, Charles J. Loring Jr. For Bernard and myself, or well as for myself, so many years, our father who saw the plane in 1945.
Yeah.
It was an exciting adventure to dig around the plane and discover the great treasure below, or the great story below. All the best and warmest greetings from, I guess it's Rodorath, Helmut, and Bernard.
Yeah.
Helmut and Bernard. And then it's a nose to customs. And then you get to unveil the rest.
No, you stay right here. You go first, you've been doing all.
No, let's do it together.
Okay. Oh. More notes.
More notes? Is there more notes? This isn't the first piece, so grab a hold of that.
No idea what that is, but that's the first piece, all rusted.
There's a note with it.
I'm not with it.
Hold on to that a minute.
Okay.
You're gonna have to read this again. Oh, it's a seatbelt. This seatbelt buckle is a special piece because it was touched for sure by Charles himself before he piloted out and left the plane. Be the last thing he touched before he left that plane. I think you should touch what your brother touched.
Right.
Now I'm shaking too. All right, let's keep that together, sir. Go down the floor. We're finding the needle in the haystack.
Sean, could I trade slots so I can give Charlene the better deal?
I'm shaking. Shaking.
Who's got the knife? Here we go.
Johnny, get your ass over here. He's got strong hands.
Put your butt over here.
I don't know what Charles is. Would John disappear?
I'm scared of you guys with this knife.
Stop you from ducking.
I know, right? Oh, your floor is gonna be really dirty.
Belgium. They didn't clean anything.
You guys don't mind, do you? You need that? Sign it, sign your in. Not really sure what the pieces are.
You do, yeah.
Nobody here to tell us. No, we need an airplane expert.
Skip, this mechanic in the airport, yeah, on airplanes going overseas.
Put it down. We can put it up.
You're scaring me with the knife here, honey.
What was this, Skip?
Some kind of a fuel line or something.
Yeah.
Rivets for the plane. We'll put these aside too when everybody wants to, when we're done, everybody can have a look. also looks like it could have been from a window, because there's some rubber here.
Maybe the window leak. No,
I think we broke, it didn't break, that's for sure, right? There's definitely a gasket kind of thing here. Fuel line for sure.
Put it back together.
All right.
Years ago was that, on that big 44, plastic.
Anyone got any idea?
Out of the plane.
You bought it about 49.
Yeah. But it's only 74 in December.
I just turned 74, Roberta's November, you're December. So you're
That's a bullet.
long time.
Wow.
You can tell by the end of it, that is dead on bullet.
Sure is.
Anybody know what caliber?
We're gonna see if you can make it out.
50 caliber.
Something in here?
That must have been stuck in the tail.
The gold, Joe. You can't see, Dick.
In the shower.
No.
That's not spent yet, is it?
Can't make it out. Huh?
No, it's a bullet for sure though.
Johnny, is that spent? Is that a spent one?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
front of it's
30
gone.
caliber, 40.
Should be a 50 caliber.
40 back then.
40?
Back then.
Yeah.
That's, that came from the front of the, yeah, what it was on the board, on the dashboard of the plane, connection was here. That's where those cables came from,
Okay.
okay?
13. Oh, to the floor there.
All right, we came in.
That's okay.
Online.
Some paint on it. 43, it says 43.
There's definitely
Maybe that
paint
was
up
the
the
year.
outside.
That's another one that went to the dash.
I can help you.
into that.
We can make it out.
Oh, okay.
We're getting to the,
Just another piece of,
every piece is valuable.
Oh, maybe.
careful, don't cut yourself.
Two more bullets.
Two more.
That's just,
Yeah.
some of the wire that get burned up inside.
These bullets actually have the piece where they, go continuously.
That's right, yep. That's part of the inside too, probably on the side of the plane.
Oh, yeah. Could be in the wing.
Guess what?
That,
No? That's- Yeah, it is porcelain.
That looks like the front end of a bullet.
Could be.
it's heavy, yeah, it is. Heavy.
That goes with the stuff that was on the dash. Russ. Okay, what do you think? Look, there's another one. There's another one. What's over here?
The house, all you have to do is pack it.
Oh, that'd be easy. There's not much packing in there. There's a radio.
Oh, do they have the plate?
Yeah, no, they probably kept the plate.
Oh.
So there was a plate, like I said, and that plate designated.
And Limestone received a special package back in July. Finally, today, that box was opened. Inside that box were airplane parts from Major Charles Loring's plane It was shot down by German forces in 1944 over Belgium. Loring was a Portland resident and a fighter pilot in the U.S. Army Air Force. On Saturday, family members of Loring joined together for the unboxing. Even Loring's 92-year-old brother was there.
He dug up parts of his plane from World War II. He bailed out as a prisoner of war. And 80 years later, they sent the parts to us.
Paul Loring, the brother of Major Charles Loring, says this was an emotional experience. Says historians found these plane parts sometime last year and knew they belonged to Loring based on a serial number. And one of the pieces inside the box were bullets, pieces of his plane, and a safety buckle, which family members say was the last item touched by Loring before he crashed. Many of these plane pieces will be given to the Loring Air Museum. Other parts will be given to the family of Charles Loring. An awesome story that is here in Portland. All right, well. Bye.